How do you prepare to be a parent in this day and age? You have countless articles, access to all the medical books. You can go and talk to your friends who are parents today. Or you can just read a couple of comic strips, have some fun with it, and also learn how to tackle 95% of the most complicated scenarios as a parent. Yes, by the end of this video, you will learn how to have fun and learn to be a parent. Welcome to the TohirT channel. My name is Tahir, and today I'm talking about Brian Gordon and his hysterical series of comic strips called The Fowl Language. Let's do this! On this channel, I primarily talk about people, places, and tech. And if you're curious to learn more about other inspirational people, creators, other authors of a couple of books, well, after this video is done, check out this playlist over here or one of the cards at the end of the video. Yes, my secret to parenting is Brian Gordon's series of books. The Fowl Language is not only hysterical and very thought-provoking, it's real. And this is where the power lies. When it comes to parenting, there are a lot of stressful situations, a lot of successes and failures that you tackle as a parent in the day-to-day, hour by hour. And yes, there are plenty of books and articles out there, but it's very hard to go and amass all that personal experience, the whole complexity of a very exciting and stressful event as becoming a parent in one single book. His books are real. Yes, they're not scientific. Yes, they will not actually prepare you to raise a kid. But the anecdotes that he covers, all those real stories from clearly the events that took place in his own life, raising the two kids, helped me personally prepare for what is to come. I still recall back when it was 2015, 2016, when I first came across his comic strips on Facebook, I was getting ready to be a first-time parent with my oldest son. And yes, it was a stressful situation. Yes, I had no clue what I'm gonna do. And yes, I tried reading different articles online, and every time you go out there and you read them, the complexity, all the different things that they're trying to teach you, all the different music and songs and stuff that you need to read to them, and different movies that you need to play to them while they're still in the belly out there, still developing. This is complex. Half of it sounds like a BS, and you're not really sure what to do with all this information. Where, once you open one of those comic strips, you realize that, you know what, albeit it's stressful, it's complex, it's very personal. There's going to be a lot of stressful and fun moments and a lot of exciting and fun moments. And at the end of the day, as long as you carry your smile through them, it'll be all right. Here's why, and I'm convinced these comic strips really helped me in the preparation to be a parent. You will have fun. I had fun. Every single time I have fun when I read through some of these new comic strips, some of the comic strips of the old circa 2015, 16, 17. I always enjoyed those small anecdotes and stories from that little duck and his family's life. I know it's silly to say it this way, but quite frankly, to this day, I can pour myself a cup of coffee, take one of these books by Brian Gordon. One of these books by Brian Gordon, and I can just flip through them, just read through them as I'm drinking coffee. And yes, I know, in this video alone, we realize that I'm not the perfect coffee drinker, but yet this is a great read, you enjoy it, you have fun. The realism is when it will hit you. You start thinking through the situations that you see in those comic strips and you realize, yes, this is something that have happened in his life. This is something that will happen potentially in my life. And later on down the line, when I had a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, now that I have 2 kids, I start slowly catching up and finding myself in exactly the same situations. Laughing at the story about this father dog teaching and arguing his young son to use the bathroom. Yeah, I had to go through that. Man, I have to go through it the second time now with my second son. Yes, laughing at the story about the parent wanting to flip off their jerk kid. You know what? It's terrible to say, but sometimes my wife and I do feel like, our kids can be jerks. I'm sorry. Sometimes they behave. It's your carbon copy with zero social skills. How annoying is that? Imagine yourself on the other side arguing about something without any social skills. That will be annoying, and this can be annoying, and this is the real life, and Brian Gordon perfectly depicted in his comic books. That is why I find it so cathartic to read through those books, because It's not only that they deliver all this entertainment value, they shave off those rougher edges around the stressful experience of being a parent. And when you find yourself in one of those situations and you recall that comic strip that you read like several months ago, you cannot help but laugh a little bit and be like, I guess I'm in that parenting world now. And you just go on with your day. And with that, it, I think, in my opinion, helps overemphasize the happy moments when you really feel joy and you feel the excitement from being a parent. And don't get me wrong, I talk about stressful moments mostly, primarily because people are stressed about potential stressful moments about being a parent. But there are plenty of great, bright moments that Brian Gordon covers in Fowl Language as well. And it comes from all the different directions. It's interaction with the kids and, snuggling with them at the fireplace or what have you. It can be interactions with other parents, other kids of other parents. There's a lot of soul and realism in those comics. And I know it's silly. I feel fun just talking this way, like it's some philosophical thesis about a comic book strip, but this is how impactful I think it is. I honestly think it's undervalued by a lot of people. That impact, that cathartic experience that you can gain, and that amazing feeling that you can have both when you find yourself in a similar stressful moments as well as in a similar bright moments. It's empowering. I think it's empowering. It reminds you that you're not alone in this fight, so to speak, of being a parent, and you, I think, enjoy it that much more. And yes, and all thanks to Silly Duck, his family of little ducklings and Mother Duck, and thanks to bright mind of Brian Gordon for creating those characters. That last point perfectly sets me up for the reason why, in general, I always recommend to upcoming parents, new parents, future parents, and better English. Like you did not know, I'm not the first, native language speaker. Anyways, Brian Gordon's books are always on my recommendation list for the parents and the future parents, because ultimately this is the realism that brings the passion through the pages of the books. You can clearly tell he's a parent, he struggles, he has his successes and his failures, and we all do. These books remind me that we're not alone in this fight. You as a parent, when you find yourself in that cycle of wake up, feed the child, change the child, make sure they don't hurt themselves, go to bed, wake up again and go on the cycle all over again, especially in this pandemic, we're so much closer and we have to spend so much more time with our kids. It's hard. There's a lot of things going on, and it's very easy in that cacophony of all the information, all the things that are happening around you to forget about the fact that we're all the same. We all experience the same kind of challenges. We all experience the same kind of successes and failures. When you learn that others survived it, when you read on these pages of the books that this hilarious duck survived the parenting, so can you. And that is why, yes, you should still read the scientific books. Yes, you should still read all the articles. You should still prepare from a psychological perspective how to raise the kids, what are the right things to do, learning about the school districts, something that I'm learning on right now as my 5-year-old about to go to school, right? There's a lot of things that you need to scientifically and comprehend on a very deep level. But in the midst of all of those things, among all the moving parts and all the complexity that you will encounter as a parent, it's always nice to sit down, open one of these graphic books, and just enjoy and have a fun, laugh, just soak in those silly moments, look at some of them, show them to your wife or your spouse, husband, and just point out and say, remember us in this exact situation. And I think that approach, that thought process alone will help you de-stress some of those tougher moments. And as I said, elevate the excitement. And all of it is really contained within the pages of a book with the duck, his family, called Fowl Language. This kind of topics is why I love making YouTube videos in the first place, because I get to show a completely different perspective. Yes, it always sounds random, but ultimately, I hope you see that this is one of many ways by which you can learn for yourself, show to others through this video, that life can be both messy and beautiful at the same time. Parenting can be messy and beautiful at the same time, and you learn about it through the pages of this kind of books by Brian Gordon. For those of you who are already parent, how did you prepare to be one? If you're about to be a parent, did I sell you an idea of using comic strips, Fowl Language by Brian Gordon? And if you're already a fan of his work, which of the comic strips is your favorite? Share your thoughts, links, and ideas in the section below. Speaking of, I have to pop this bad boy open. There you go. Speaking of the favorite comic strips, this one is mine. Yes, I got it in print. I actually got it even signed. Thank you, Brian. I really love this one. In a few short sentences, I now know why my mother would get upset with me using bathroom, or arguably using bathroom and missing the aim, so to speak. Listen, raising boys is a very interesting experience and you have to get used to certain things. And now I fully understand why my mom would get frustrated. And now I do have to do it the second time around with my youngest one. So, yes. I can very much relate to this comic strip, and that is why I had to get it in print. I'm clearly a big fan. I'm very passionate about this content. Well, if you want to check it out yourself, first of all, there's a free option. Go check out Brian Gordon's or Fowl Language pages on Facebook and Instagram. You can go all the way back, find some of those older comic strips and kind of like move forward. If you want to spend just a little bit of money, about like a price of a coffee, sign up for the Tiny View app. That app actually has the most up-to-date, the most current comic strips that Brian releases. He usually drops some sort of a tease on Instagram story, and then he sends you over to the app. And if you're a subscriber, you can access them right away. And finally, I'd highly recommend you to buy a book, or all of the books. There are currently 3 of them. I usually purchase all of that on his website. You can also find them on Amazon and some of the other links. I'll make sure to link all of the Brian's information, all of his pages and his personal website down in the description right at the top. So go check them out. And yeah, I think it makes perfect gift for yourself if you're about to be a parent, if you have friends who are about to be a parent. I think Brian Gordon's book make a perfect baby shower gift, because when others buy, like, yeah, diapers are expensive, but among all the diapers, baby bottles, and all that stuff that everyone buys, you will buy the future parents something they can just open and laugh at and morally get prepared for, as I've said, more interesting moments in the parenting life. And if you have a chance, you really become an equal fan of Brian Gordon's work, go say hi to him, drop him a note on social media, just re-encourage the author who is a freelancer who's doing this work, because it's tough. Let's face it, in this world, being a creative and independent creative like this with a family and 2 kids, I'm sure it's very stressful, and you always have to think about where your next dollar will come from. In this world where we all love getting this kind of content for free, it's tough to be a creator on the other side, trying to support the family and the 2 kids and thinking about the schools and the mortgages and all the other expenses. So please go support the creative if you really enjoy his work. And yeah, thank you for stopping by. I'm here every week, so go hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you found it useful, share this video with some of your friends, and I'll see you next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, on this very channel. I had fun. This is an interesting topic. It breaks up a little bit the week. Also, it's my birthday weekend, so it's nice to talk about something I'm really excited about like this, as well as last week's Clubhouse. I don't know why I almost blanked. The Clubhouse video was long and a lot of hard work. I really enjoyed how it worked out. I think other people enjoyed it, but it's definitely nice to break it up a little bit, just chat and rumble about something I really like that is not necessarily an app or a tech or even something highly sophisticated, yet it covers a very important topic in our lives, being parents. Well, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.